sir. Yes, sir. And we are live. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Grant, Najee, and Marsell, man. Every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We come with the best sports topics. So tune in, share with your friends, and come join us every Friday. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the world of sports right now, and in the NBA and the World Cup and all over. So we're gonna dive into these topics right now. How are you guys feeling, man? Najee, Marcel.
Feel good. Feel good. The East got a little better. The Celtics look terrible. I mean, I don't know what Marcel, I don't know what these guys are doing, to be honest. But I think LeBron going to the 76ers. I think that's the next move for him. I think it would be a good move.
I'm doing good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Awesome.
Let's get into it. Let's get into this.
Let's get into it, man. So we'll just start right in the NBA. Some news that everybody in the world of sports has been waiting for this year, the past couple of years, when LeBron didn't sign his extension. He has now announced that he is not returning back to the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's going to take his talents elsewhere. This is not something new for LeBron. He's been to different teams before. So this is his last chapter. Me and Marcel were talking about he might retire. Well, now we know he's not. He's probably going to play for another couple of years or so. He still looks like he has a decent amount left in the tank. And there's a plethora of teams that are looking to sign LeBron. The main three that we've heard so far are the Warriors, Miami, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then now the 76ers are definitely on that list since they made that trade for Jaylen Brown. For me personally, now that I agree with Najee, now that the Sixers have Jaylen Brown, I think that LeBron going to the Sixers that's probably the best situation for him as far as like talent wise and being able to play to win. Whether Joel Embiid is in the lineup the whole year or not, they're still going to be very formidable in the East if he goes to the 76ers. So I want him to go to the Sixers now. The Sixers or Miami. How about you guys?
I want to see him as a Sixer. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. The team's loaded. Embiid, Brown, they got him for nothing, for pennies. I mean, it's honestly insane to me that they would give him up for Paul George. Paul George. That guy is not good at basketball anymore. He's not there anymore. And then for just 2 first-round picks and then 2 seconds, that's not enough for me for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a superstar. What are you getting in return? Some 20, 30 picks? I mean, who cares? I'm sorry, but that was just probably me and Grant were talking about it. That was the top 2 worst trades we've seen in a long time. And Marcel, that's your thing, man. And it's kind of, it just says a lot about you that you're supporting this team. You support this trade.
Well, first things first, let's get started with the first one.
Yeah.
See, now what you guys miss is this here. Before LeBron goes anywhere, you got to look at the coach. How is that going to work? LeBron has not been known to respect coaches. Can we agree on that?
That's true. I'll give you that.
Okay. So that's the first thing. So in Philly, I think their coach is Nick Nurse.
Yep.
If I'm correct. How does he respect Nick Nurse? That's a big thing right there. The next thing is, how is he going to, what position is he going to play?
Yeah.
Is he going to expect to handle the ball? I think Tyrese Maxey has something to say about that.
I think he's legit.
So I think coming in, is he going to check that ego at the door? See, that's the second thing. The third thing is Philly's fans. You coming into Philadelphia, they're going to hold you to a higher standard than Laker fans will, and they're going to tell you about it. So he's got to think about that stuff. All right. I think as far as the coaches are concerned, that he has respect for. Out of everybody that you just named, the teams, Miami's the only place where he's gonna go in there and he knows what's expected. Because not only do you have the head coach that you played for, but the GM is still there.
That's true.
And then again, it comes back down to where's he going to play. And now keep in mind now, I know you guys love LeBron. But he's got to play defense. And the last time I checked, he's going into the year 24.
Yeah, what's up, Sierra?
So that right there. And as far as the Jaylen Brown's trade is concerned, that was the worst trade. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. My little brother texted me, and I thought he was playing with me. And I had to go and look it up, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I don't care what you got going on, because this to me, we don't have enough time for me to get what I have on my chest off my chest. But I'm gonna tell you this here: you signed the cat to a 5-year deal. I believe it was a 5-year contract. You maxed him out, and now all of a sudden you don't want to pay him. Excuse me. And to show me that you don't want to pay him is what you did to trade him away. All right. Now listen. Now I only own one NBA any jersey of any kind. I only own one. And now hold on one second.
Oh man. Marsell. What do you think it is, Najee? Yeah.
Oh man.
Now I'm not a Sixer fan. I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, right? Okay. And when they play Boston, I hope he give us the business to remind us, because this reminds me of when the Raiders traded. I mean, they dogged Marcus Allen, right? Marcus Allen was the fullback for Bo Jackson and Eric Dickerson and Roger Craig, and he was an elite running back. They traded him to Kansas City, and every time he faced Oakland or LA, wherever they were at the time, all he did was score touchdowns. And I hope the same for Jaylen Brown, because that trade makes 0 sense to me. 0. I mean, if you don't want to pay the man his extension, that's one thing. And the extension's not due he's not due for the extension for 2 years, for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I tell you, I am not somebody that predict the future. I forget the word. My brain is going 1,000 miles. But Brad Stevens' days are numbered in Boston. He better have a rabbit. He better be able to pull 4 rabbits out of a hat to justify that trade, to make up for that trade. Because Nico Harris that was down in Dallas, we saw what happened to him after the Luka AD trade.
Yeah.
And this trade right here is right up there with it. And I see the hammer coming down on Brad Stevens, man, for this trade. I mean, and they can make any excuse they want about him and whatever else. But the fact of the matter is that guy can play.
Yeah.
Your eyes don't lie.
28 points a game. 28 points a game.
Yeah, the eyes don't lie. And I think it's deeper than that. I think there were some things going on behind his back, and I think from the player perspective as well as the front office perspective, where they had issues with him. And I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, I want to win. We can work on that. That's called communication. So so when he puts on that Sixer jersey and he's playing against my green and white, give us the business. I still won't win the game, but I want him to Remind us what we're missing.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as like the Nico Harrison thing, I think this Brad Stevens trade was worse than the Nico Harrison trade because
yes,
like you know, at least for Luka, or at least for, you know, you're getting Anthony Davis, right? Who could be top 5 on any given year, right? You know, you're trading Luka for Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. This is trading, you know, a top 10 player when healthy for a Paul George who I don't know when he's had a real, you know, an MVP like he's just not who he used to be. It's nowhere near like it's this. Yeah, this is a fireable offense, in my opinion.
And you know, and here's the deal: if what the reports are, if they're true, then they must have been smoking something serious because they are going off of that first round series, right? The dude was suspended for what, 50 games or 70 games or whatever it was. So he was healthy. He was fresh in the first round. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, if that was the logic of making that trade, oh my goodness. Yeah, now if they would have traded him and Edgecombe,
yeah,
for Paul George, I mean for Jaylen Brown plus those 2 first rounders and those 2 second rounders,
that made sense.
I could live with that. But straight up Paul George, man, I tell you what, I have an iceberg in Alaska. I want to sell them.
I think when they didn't, I know they tried to get Giannis, and when that didn't work out, and they were just like shopping around Jaylen Brown, and they were just like, well, no one's really offering us what we believe he's worth, but we need to get rid of him. So there definitely was some back office, you know, front office type of things where they're just like, we need to get rid of him no matter what. We're going to get whatever we can, and that's what's just going to happen. So once that Giannis thing fell through, and Giannis said, well, I'm not going to Boston. I'm going to Miami. You guys aren't going to pay me what I want. I'm going to Miami. Then they were just well, crap. What do we do now?
Well, but here's the thing, though. I mean, and granted, in sports, you know, there's always the possibility of trades and so on and so forth, right? Well, but this cat has been disrespected. Okay. Yeah. I recall, what was it, 22? They were talking about him for KD, and I was like, no, because and hear what I'm saying to you. The problem with today's sports franchises and sports leagues and everything, they are so in love with what guys did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm sorry, but KD in 2022 was not the KD in 2012.
No.
All right. I'm not going to, and this trade right here it just proves my point. You're going to trade a 29-year-old for a 36-year-old who's been banged up for the last 6 years, who hasn't played more. He's played like 82 games in the last 3 years. I don't understand the logic. I really don't. I mean, sometimes you just got to say, hey, you know what? You got to tough it out. If it's that bad, you're going to have to tough it out. Because I'm all about winning. And as long as we're winning, you know, we can work on the relationship piece. We can work on that stuff. I don't need to be your best friend. You don't need to be my best friend. As long as we are on the same page and we got the same goal in mind for the team, that's all that matters. I just think these cats are too sensitive for me.
I would understand that if KD was in that trade. Like, I would understand.
No.
Right? No. KD better than George?
I wouldn't want either one of them. How old is KD? How old is KD?
Old as KD, but KD can play. He better than Paul George.
How old is KD?
I don't know.
He can't stay healthy either.
Like 36, 37.
36, that's what I'm thinking. I would rather have KD than Paul George.
Listen, I am not making that trade either way. If I'm the GM in Boston, I'm not trading for a guy that's 6 or 7 or 8 years older than my star. That makes zero sense to me. Again, nostalgia is great, but I don't want to go back there. I don't want to relive it right now. I don't want to give up a kid that plays both ends of the floor and brings everything night in, night out, and he's not injured. He's available every night. Why am I going to trade him for a Kevin Durant or a Paul George, who I may get 30 or 40 games out of. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'd rather have KD than Paul George. Like that just
Well,
didn't make any sense to me.
beggars can't be choosy, bro.
That was bad. That was really bad.
That was a bad trade. That was a horrible trade. Terrible.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bad look as far as like just the whole Celtics organization with how they treat their superstars, because if you're a future superstar looking at what the Celtics have done, not only with Jaylen Brown, but I think of with Isaiah Thomas back in the day when he had a damn near MVP season and he played through his sister dying, played through a multitude of injuries, and he played through a bone bruise when really he wasn't even supposed to play through it. And then the Celtics just said, we're giving you up for Kyrie Irving. You know, we're just going to give you up. Like, I just think of scenarios like that where like superstars are going to be looking at the Celtics and they're going to be like, do I really want to sign a 5-year deal with this franchise when, you know, we talk about loyalty with organizations and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they might decide one day, you know what, we're just going to blackball you, or you're the problem that we didn't do so and so and blah, blah, blah. And we'll just get you out of here, you know?
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, it's not just Boston.
That's true.
The unfortunate side is what happened with Isaiah Thomas, because he was due for a payday, right? But we just talked about Dallas and what they did with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
So it's every organization in the league, you know, and you know, that's where the conundrum comes in from a player management perspective. Yeah, you want loyalty, but they're not loyal to you. You got to get what you can get when you can get it, you know, and that's the issue that comes into play when you got millionaires bartering with billionaires, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that is a bad look, and it's a black eye to the Celtics, because now, you know, if I'm 26 years old and I'm due for, you know, a big payday and I got options, I don't think I'm signing with Boston. And I'm a Celtic fan, you know, and I'm like, nah, I can't trust it because, you know, and you know, before I finish, let me say this here. See, now I'm looking back. This situation right here, it just reminds me of what happened when they let Ime Udoka go, right? Mm-hmm. They made it sound like, and this is where I have an issue with the media, okay? Because Stephen A., I hate saying that name, but they were like, oh, he will never coach again from what I'm hearing, and this, that, and the, where is he at right now? What is he doing right now?
Coaching.
He's coaching.
Yeah.
Right? And when everything comes out, they made it sound like he killed somebody.
Right.
So the media, and the media has been doing this for the last 3 years with in regards to Jaylen Brown. They've been wanting to break those two up for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, it's time to trade, it's time to part ways. And, you know, I just think that when it comes down to me and my organization, I don't listen to outside noise. I'm going to focus on what's going on inside. And if I see anything that needs to be addressed, then we're going to address that. I'm not going to let anybody outside of the situation dictate what happens inside of this situation. And I think that the media saying, you know, all these reports about the turmoil within the organization and so on and so forth, and these two, they can't win together. That's when the KD, the Anthony Davis and all that stuff, all them speculations started to come out, you know, and the same thing. The guy had a great year. He took a team that wasn't supposed to finish in the playoffs to the playoff, number 2 seed, and you let him go? Come on, man. You know, you got to give me something better than that.
And you trade him to your rival in the Eastern Conference, who you're competing against them. That just shows you that they really don't view him that high, Jaylen Brown, honestly. Like, they think they're better off with Derek White or something, you know?
I heard that too.
Yeah. Did you hear with and this is another thing I don't like with the media, Bobby Marks. You hear what he said?
No.
He said that he talked to a couple of GMs or office, higher ups in the
Executives. Yeah.
league, executives in the league, saying that in their conversations, Jaylen Brown is the number 7 ball player on most teams. I'm like, are you smoking something? I wouldn't even see. Here's the thing: he shouldn't even have said that. He shouldn't even reported that
Right.
because that right there tells me that you hating and
Yeah.
you want them to break up so bad that you want them to think what you're saying is the truth. And all this stuff comes down to analytics. I hate analytics. In
Yeah.
basketball, analytics does not belong in basketball. Period. Period. Because here's the thing. If you can look at a guy and see that he can play, I don't care what analytics say. If this guy's averaging 29, if he's averaging 29 points a game, 5 assists, 6 rebounds a game, to me, that's an all-star. That's an MVP caliber performance right there for a year, for an
Absolutely.
82 game season. And you're going to rely on analytics? Get out of here with that, man. No, no.
It's crazy, man. Like they're talking about plus minus and he's not, bro.
Yeah,
Like, come on, man. This dude's a baller. Like this dude's a bucket.
yeah. I mean, okay. Now, put his plus minus in, and this is not knocking him because the guy is 42 years old or 41 years old.
Yeah.
But put his plus minus up to LeBron's plus minus from this past season. So I guess what they're saying is, if he's number 7, I guess LeBron's number 7 on any team too.
Right.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's stupid.
It's bad.
I just don't. Why did they give him that contract anyway? What was the point of that? If they didn't feel so highly about him, what was the point of them giving him that that contract?
But again,
most paid player ever.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it's just one of those things where you never know what these people are thinking. Because evidently he was good enough to get that contract. And all he did, and all that franchise has done since he's been there is win.
Yeah.
Got the 2 finals, won, and have been in the playoffs every season. I don't know. Maybe we're tired of winning. Maybe we want to go back down into the lottery again and be sub 500 and be bottom feeders again. I think that's what they're looking for.
So like where now that Jaylen Brown is gone, I mean you guys did add Mitchell Robinson, which is that he's a really good big, backup big type of.
I can't believe we let him go.
Yeah, that was a blow.
I don't know.
Where do you rank the Celtics now? Like, are they top 4? Are they top, are they contending still?
Not contending at the moment, but I wanna see what else he does. Because this, you make a trade like that, you can't be done. You have to have something else in it. Yeah, you gotta have something else going on. Right now, as of today, and here's the biggest thing of all, the biggest question of all. You gave away your healthiest superstar. We don't, and I wish injury. I don't wish that on anybody, but we don't know how Jason Tatum's body is going to respond, how it's going to recover. If he's going to have any setbacks, if he's going to be healthy all year long through the playoffs, if we make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big unknown right there. But if I had to assess right now where we would be in the Eastern Conference, I would say we're probably 7 or 8. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because we gave away one of the biggest pieces. We gave away 29 points a game. Okay, let's say with the 2 of them on the floor, he's 24 and a half, 25 a game. You gave up 25 points a game. More importantly, you gave up our best perimeter defender, or one of our best perimeter defenders, because Derek White can defend us behind all.
Yeah.
But you gave one of our better defenders. He's a better defender than JT. So, and then you bring in Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, that's great. He's great on the defensive end of the floor. A liability on the offensive end of the floor in regards to scoring, and when they get down the last 2 minutes or before that 2 minutes, and they go into that hacker shack, and he's shooting 45% from the free throw line. I mean, So I mean, it's one of those things where, uh, and now the last thing is how are we going to play? Are we still going to be shooting 53 the game? I hope not.
Probably.
But yeah, so it's
I'm
going.
thinking
So
they're
I
going to
would say
rely on
7 or 8.
Pritchard.
I would
I
say
think they're
7
going
or
to rely
8.
on Pritchard a lot.
Oh, he can shoot
7
it
or
though.
8.
But he can play it. But here's the thing though.
Maybe
The problem. But the problem though is this here. Now you're asking him to step into a new role. You don't know how that's going to work. It may look good. It may look good in your mind, but when 20 games into the season come around and he's like, hey, I need to come back off the bench. I need to come in and be able to pick my spots that way. Not every reserve is a good starter. And vice versa. Some guys are better suited to come off the bench because they see what's going on. They know what the team needs. Now, when you're putting in that starting lineup, now you got to flip it. You got to flip your mindset now. Teams are keen on you. Now them starters are you're playing against the starters and not the reserves. So now they
Yeah.
got the game plan on you. They get to scout you now. They get to scout you even more. So 7 or 8 right now.
Dang. That's terrible, man. Go from second in the East, third in the East to 8th in the fighting for the playing spot.
Yep.
And yeah,
I
Brad
mean,
Stevens got to make some more moves.
he has to because I'm
Yeah.
telling you because if we keep him, if we don't make that trade and we got Mitchell Robinson, we're the favorites in the East.
Yeah.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy. You can put LeBron on the Heat, the Cavs, and the Sixers, and we still number one in the East.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, but I hope he has some sleeping pills. I don't mean like take the whole bottle. I mean to help him sleep at night.
Yeah. Yeah. for sure.
Because I mean I'm talking about Brad Stevens because that right there, man. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? I know we got to move on, but can you imagine being him? And let's just say Boston just goes 22 and 60 next year. Can you imagine him walking down the street in Boston? Can you imagine what he's going to hear?
You know how Boston is.
That's my point. That's just like Philly. You trade with your franchise, man. You better have a better franchise coming in, a franchise player coming in. You don't just give up a Porsche for a Beetle.
Right.
You
Right.
gave up a Porsche for a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that probably is the worst trade in NBA history that I remember. And he's above Nico Harrison. So hopefully, you guys can make some more moves and get back. But that was definitely a flop, and it just added more to this free agency and this offseason has been crazy. But before we get into the World Cup, I do want to talk about my Lakers just for a bit. I don't know if you guys saw if you guys saw what Stephen A. Smith said, like this is something that he could get fired for, but I don't think they're going to do it. He basically said that there's no way the Lakers are going to win a championship with a bunch of white boys. That's what he was saying. He's calling them the Snow Time Lakers now because we got Luka, Reeves, we got Kessler, white dude from the Jazz. And I'm just thinking in my head, like this dude, Stephen A. Smith, like he just doesn't stop. Like
he's drunk on his own Kool-Aid. He drinking his own Kool-Aid, man. Everyone's
talking about on TikTok like that. That's just flat out racist. Like you could get fired for that. Like why are you? The audacity just to say that. Like Luka is a great player. I don't care if he's white, but like he's a great player. Austin Reeves can hoop. Whether he plays defense or not, he can hoop. Like there's still they have NBA players who are, who can produce. I don't get what what's going through his head when he's just going on his show and it's crazy, man. All that money got to his head, I guess.
Hey, when you are on SportsCenter, ESPN, you got your own podcast, and you dabbling into politics, you feel like you untouchable. You can say anything you want.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. I'm not gonna tell you what I think, but yeah,
He's terrible, man. Tears down black men every chance he gets. He never supports black men. Like it's bad, man. I don't know.
my grandmother told me if I don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm gonna button it up.
The snow time Lakers is crazy, man. That's crazy.
I've never heard that. That's different.
Yeah.
Hey, Najee, what do you think about that?
No, that's different. Like for real, I've never heard nothing like that. And then they're still on air. You know, if they said that about some brothers, it's cooked. It's over.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it will be hard for the Lakers. I mean, it's the West.
Yeah.
They're trying their best. They're trying to figure out what's next after the LeBron career that he had in LA. So it's going to be hard for them. But Stephen A. Man, he has a platform. He's going to say whatever he wants. And, it's for ratings, for clicks. It's for everything. That's what gets people watching him. So it is what it is. But it is crazy. He said that on TV. And, yeah, it is crazy.
With the Laker move, I'm not gonna entertain that genius.
Yeah.
And I say that facetiously, but I think as far as the Lakers are concerned, I think what it's going to come down to is their style of play, right? How they want to play, and you have Luka and AR, right? But that back end, if they can defend, if those guys can, first of all, stay healthy, that's the number one thing, staying healthy. The next thing is defending, because you already know that Luka and Austin Reeves, they can't guard their own shadows.
No.
So they need that back end, that back line to be able to alter shots, change shots. They're going to have to rebound all five. It's going to have to be rebound by committee. All five guys have got to crash the boards. Offensively, if who all now they picked up Kessler. What was the other cat's name? The other cat came from where? Toronto or something.
They got Kessler. They got Quentin Grimes. Colin Sexton as well, and that guy from Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and if they're looking to mirror what they did in Dallas, they're going to have a great pick and roll game, so that way that roll can go to that rim. It's going to create a lot of room, a lot of deception for Luka to do what he does. Now, as far as shooting's concerned, who are their shooters on that end of the floor? They're going to need some shooters too, because you can't just lob teams to death. At some point, you're gonna need somebody need a couple of guys that can knock some shots down, that also make defenses make a decision. Do we help, or do we stay home and take away the three? So, and again, it's still early. I mean, I don't know what else they have. And they just traded DeAndre Ayton to the Wizards.
Yeah, they did.
So I mean,
he's back with AD.
So.
Yeah, the Wizards.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Now let's talk about the Wizards for a second.
Okay.
Just for a millisecond, I'm gonna just say one thing. That trade could really bump the Wizards up into the playoffs, and I'm gonna tell you why. If AD's healthy, you got Ayton coming in. Ayton's a 5. He's a center.
Yeah.
AD's a natural power forward. He's a 4. When the Lakers won that chip in 2020, he played the 4.
Yep.
He wasn't the center. And that was his best year. When he was before he got traded to LA, when he was in New Orleans, they had him and DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins was the 5 and he was the 4. So that right there could definitely put the Wizards in playoff contention. Man, they may even knock my Celtics out.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. They probably will.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, Najee. You enjoy your championship.
They probably will, man. They probably will. That's the craziest trade. When I saw Paul George, I literally was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, Paul George, like that dude is not good at the game anymore. Like,
we're not talking about Boston no more. We're not talking about Boston. We're talking about we moving on.
Wizards,
the Knicks. I want you to be.
I don't know why. I don't know why we let go of Mitchell Robinson. You got to pay him.
Yeah, but he didn't want, you know what? But he didn't want to go into that second apron.
Second apron, yeah. So
I mean, which again, when you cheat, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But I think that trade, that Laker trade, it really benefits Washington. But what they got in return, I really don't understand what they got in return.
No, like we just keep adding these smaller guards when we need bigger wings to defend and be able to hit threes. Like Jaden Hardy, he's 6'3". Like we got some second round picks because we do need more draft capital, but like as far as like the player that we got, it's kind of getting redundant. We have Colin Sexton, we have Austin Reeves, we have Quentin Grimes, we have all these guards, and I don't get it. So Rob, he's going to have to get another wing. I think Rui Hachimura is probably gone. He deserves a big payday. Alex Sars, he's a really good. The Wizards are going to be good with Trae Young and those guys. Yeah.
Well, I'm not high on Trae Young.
You're not high on Trae Young?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. He can shoot you in and he can shoot you out.
Yeah, but
he has to. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
He has to pass a little more than he shoots. If he does that right there, if he runs the club and he gets everybody involved, you know, and then picks his spots, then okay. But I mean, I've seen him in Atlanta where they're up by 15 and then he's taking these logo threes and thinking he's Steph, and next thing you know, they're down by 10. So he's got to manage the game better, especially when he got a young team. You need good habits. You don't want bad habits. You want to teach the guys how to win in the league, and that's not the way to win in the league, So that's just my opinion. But when you talk about the guards, look at most of the rosters, though. The NBA is a copycat league, which is one thing I don't like about the league, or any league. NBA, NFL, they're copycat leagues. When you got something going, you got something hot. Everybody want to do what you're doing, right? When it's the blueprint is the blueprint, right?
That's true.
Every team now. I mean, if you look at who is it? I want to say it's Portland. Portland got like 5 or 6 guards, man.
Yeah.
These teams are loading up on guards, and it's like, hey, don't forget, you need 6'8". 6'10", 7 foot. You need some size, some length. It's all fine and dandy to try to do what New York did, but what New York did was they got players that played together in college. That's their chemistry.
Exactly.
Yeah. They got guys that know each other, that have relationships with one another. They got good team chemistry. There's no animosity, no jealousy, or none of that. Now these teams are trying to duplicate what they've done over here, but you can't unless you go and you find guys that played together in college, or played together and had success in another franchise. So, but yeah, so I'm hoping I hope for Pelinka's sake that he finds that he gets a couple of long wings to go with those guards. Because if he doesn't, believe you me, he gonna be hearing about it too.
Yep. And then we'll be another playing team bounced out early, and it'll just be a disaster. But overall, crazy trades, crazy free agency in the NBA. We'll see what else happens. There could be a lot more movement. So,
hold up before you go on. What do you guys think about that Charlotte, Minnesota trade? LaMelo Ball LaMelo Ball going to Minnesota and Najee, not
Nas Reed.
Nas Reed.
Yeah.
Najee, you're Najee. Nas Reed going to Nas Reed going to Charlotte, man. What do you guys think about that trade?
I thought it was crazy that they let LaMelo go, but Nas Reed is good, man. This guy is legit. But I think the Timberwolves, I think they got better. I think they got better with LaMelo. I like LaMelo's game. I think he'll, fit in well over there. But the biggest trade for me was the Ja Morant one when they said, hey, see ya, Ja. See ya, Ja. We'll see you.
Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah,
that one was big.
And that's what I'm saying. So they got him in Portland, and Portland have some draft capital.
Yeah, sure.
But this is Ja Morant's last go. If he's not going to produce, I think he's going to be out the league here pretty soon.
I don't foresee him staying in Portland long though. I don't. I just don't. I think that they'll probably keep him, till around Christmas time, and then he'll be going somewhere else. And I think there are going to be some teams, injuries or whatever you want to call it, teams that think that they're one player away from actually being in contention. Team that has strong management and strong coaching staff and everything, So, and he could be going to one of those situations with veterans, guys that's going to be like, hey man, we need you locked in, we need you here, So who knows though?
Yeah. I like the LaMelo Ball trade. I think it gives them a guy who can go off for 30 plus any given night and create for others. There's questions about his defense, like a lot of these guards, but he's got a good height, being 6'7". So if he locks in defensively and knows where to be, I think he can hold up well. They do need another forward because Nas Reed was great at that forward spot. Maybe if they can get something there. But as far as talent wise, they match up with everyone in the West for sure. And they'll probably be like another top 5. I think they'll be like a top 5 team in the West. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting duo between Ant-Man and LaMelo. So hope they're able to do their thing there. But let's get into the World Cup, man. The World Cup's been going on for a minute. A lot of great games, a lot of great teams. Argentina just won. I just saw the standings. Argentina just won 3-2. They're
a big favorite.
Yeah, big favorite. A GOAT on that team there. And obviously USA just won, the other day as well. Najee, we talked about that crazy controversial red card play, which I don't think Balogun should have got that red card. I think he definitely got – I don't know what the refs have against him, but and you said he's out for the next game, right, Najee?
Soccer's crazy. So you get that red card, you're out that game, and then you're out the next game. So it's different for sure. I think USA is kind of a sleeper for this World Cup. To be honest, they look pretty good for the most part. I don't know. I just don't. I wouldn't put them with Argentina or France or I even think Norway would give them a battle, Brazil or any of those teams. But they're kind of sleepers. I like how they play. They're hustling. I mean, I've never seen it look this good ever since I've been watching the World Cup. So it's honestly been impressive that the soccer game in the States is getting bigger. And you can see it with the talent that they have on the team.
Hey, let me ask you guys this. Let's say the World Cup was in a different country. Do you think that red card is still a red card?
Maybe. I don't know. These refs have kind of been suspect. And then them using the VAR, that's like a huge when they're calling offsides. It's very not accurate. It doesn't seem too accurate to me, to where a lot of teams like Croatia yesterday, they should have tied up that game. The guy was not offsides to me, but the VAR showed that the ball touched the other player. And I was just like, it doesn't look like that at all. The ball would have changed if it did. But they're just using this automated, line that's kind of predicting where they are. But if you're looking at it, it's not like that. So I don't know. With this new VAR stuff, with the offsides and everything, a lot of teams have been just getting screwed over. And to be honest, I want to say it's because they need Portugal to move on. They need Ronaldo in the spotlight because they need to make some money. I mean, Portugal has a huge fan base. And
is it AI, Najee? Is that
it's not AI. It's
okay.
I don't know. It's super strange like how it is. It's not ABS like how it is. It is kind of like ABS in baseball, but I don't know. It's like if your foot is barely over the line, they're calling offsides, and you're just like, I'm looking at it, and he's not offside. So it's just that's one of the biggest things that they've been talking about for this World Cup. That this VAR system that they're using is not it's not the best. So right. I don't know.
All right. So who do you guys have winning it? Come on, put it out there.
Two teams right now that I got. I have Argentina. I got Argentina for sure going, and I think France has a Dembele. This guy that is working with Mbappe is insane. Like these guys play together. They understand each other's game. They know when to pass the ball. They know when to shoot. And it's honestly impressive, their game as of right now, because I want to say that they're tied for goals. Like, I want to say they have 5-5 or it's 6-6 goals. It's insane. And they're getting Mbappe's getting hat tricks. I mean, Dembele's getting hat tricks. And we haven't even seen that from, Ronaldo. He's just not where he used to be. So it's just sad to see him, kind of be on that back burner. But that Portugal team's not going anywhere to me. They probably going to lose the next round or so. But I have France and Argentina again if it maps out right.
Okay.
And Spain looks good too. This man Lamine. Oh my God.
Yeah. Spain looks amazing. A lot of young talent. Very good passing. Like you said, Lamine, 18 years old. One of the biggest stars already in soccer, going crazy.
He was playing in Europe. He was playing in the league when he was 15 for Barcelona. That's telling you something. He's playing with grown men, and this guy is shifty. Like, I've never seen nothing like how he moves. He creates space like no other and can cut on a dime. And just, it's honestly insane. And this kid's 18, and it's going to be crazy in these next couple years because he's going to be running the leagues. He's running the leagues now, to be honest.
Okay. But
that's my favorite. But who do you got, Marsell? Who's your number one?
You know what, man? Honestly, I like Portugal. Yeah, I know. Ronaldo's getting up in age, but what about the other cat? Man, he took a shot yesterday, but it hit the top of the bar. Oh man, what's his? I can't remember his name. Bruno. But I'm not gonna lie and say I know his name. But anyway, I like him. And the cat the cat that scored that second goal. Mm-hmm. I think that they have and what they did yesterday, because the game was yesterday, right? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah. I like their coach because he made them substitution at the right time, I think.
Yeah.
And they got some fresh bodies on the field, and that flipped the game. But going back to the offsides thing, I mean, that first goal that wasn't a goal for Ronaldo. That was sweet, man.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
That was sweet. I was like, man.
Yeah.
But no, I think the winner of that Portugal-Spain game is going to win the World Cup.
Spain gonna work them.
We're gonna see.
Spain's going to work them. All those guys. The thing is with Spain is that that whole team has played together for years. They know each other. Like that's why they're so good.
And what
The
that's called?
Portugal
No,
team,
you know what that's called right
huh?
there? That's called chemistry. That
Yeah,
is team chemistry, and I'm a firm believer in that. The teams that know each other, that play together, that's been together for years, those are the teams more times than not that are the most successful. So I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. And for me, when I'm thinking about the World Cup, right? Like for me, this is my first time watching it. I know it's the same thing for a lot of people, just because now it's hosted in the United States, and obviously more Americans are watching the World Cup. But do you think, like, after this World Cup that Americans are going to look at it and be like, wow, this was a really great event? And do you think it's going to be something that they're going to be watching no matter where it's hosted, whether it's USA again, whether it's, somewhere else? Do you think it's one of those things where it's like, wow, this is a really good event and it was amazing? Or do you think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, like, it's not hosted here, I'm just going to watch, whatever else?
No, I think Americans understand the World Cup. But I
Yeah,
think the question is after this, because the World Cup only comes every 4 years.
that's
Are
true.
are are Americans going to be like, oh, I love watching the World Cup. Am I going to start watching the Premier League? Am I going to, the European
Yeah,
League? Because that's really where soccer's at. Where soccer's at. The
right.
MLS is nowhere near, the Premier League at all. They don't get paid the same, and it's just not where it is. Messi came down because he can't, he still can play over there in the Premier League, but he's getting a bag in Miami. And I would tell him the
Yeah,
same thing. Go get your money. Wherever you're going to play, go get your money, because you can only play it for so long. But it's hard with soccer, man. They have like the Premier League. They have minor league ball. They have so many different leagues that you can't really watch all of it unless, like, you're really on top of it. So
right.
it is very hard. I don't know if Americans are going to transition and watch more soccer. I want to say yes, because the soccer play for the U.S. is getting better, which means that people are putting more money into soccer. They're putting more, time into it. So I think it's going to get bigger and bigger. It's bigger everywhere else. So the U.S. is like, well, we need to step up and, compete. But these guys over in Europe, man, this is their life. Football's
Yeah.
their life. They don't care about anything else. They care about that ball and getting some cleats on and then kicking that thing, for real.
Football is life.
Yeah.
you know, um, this is a dumb question, but where do our U.S. Soccer team ball players play during the year? Like outside the World Cup, are they playing over there in the Premier League? Are they playing in MLS? I mean, where are they playing?
I would say some are playing in the Premier League, but most would be from MLS. It's
And
just what
see,
it
and,
is.
and so, um, um, sorry, I
No,
lost
you're
train
good.
of thought. Anyway, um, I think in order for the game to grow, in my personal opinion, everything comes down to advertising, marketing. I don't know how the MLS goes about marketing, and like you were saying, Najee, when you have all these different tier leagues, you know, if you have the NBA to use basketball, or the NFL, you know, or both of those for that matter, we know that come fall, what's coming up? The
Yeah.
NFL, right? We know come October, November, NBA starts off. So we got to figure out for soccer when, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does it kick off? Um, and so the World Cup is every 4 years, and I think in order for us to grow the game, we got 4 years to grow the game here, and it just
Yes.
comes down to figuring out, you know, if you're going to start the league, and I don't know when they start in soccer, but let's say they start in the spring. If you're going to
Mhm.
start in the spring, you need to be advertising, man, back around Christmas, beginning of the year to get the people excited, because if you want to draw people from different fan bases, sports fan bases, you need to put something in the back of their mind. You got to strike while the iron is hot, because right now everybody in the country and everybody's glued to the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's watching. I'm watching. Belgium and the Senegal. I'm watching Portugal and Croatia. I'm watching all the games, right? So you got to keep the people interested in that. And the more you feed that, the more you feed it, the more you're going to draw people to want to be a part of what you got going on, especially when it's exciting. The way, I mean, it's been some good games, man.
For sure.
Um, and I was watching was it the Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
This was last week. I love watching them play. I was like, these guys are getting it. Who was it? Was it them that played that lost to Germany down the
Ivory.
stretch? Was it Ivory Coast? Or
Uh,
this
they
is
lost
the
to
pool play.
Norway. Oh, they just lost to Norway 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that game. It was a game last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say it was Germany that they played. But anyway, um, it was just cool just to watch them. And they played their hearts out. They played, and just that effort, And so I just think the more you have to offer, the more you um, uh, the good games, competitive games where there was no blowouts. Like, there was one blowout I saw was 5-0. And that was just like, was that
Yeah.
France? Was that France? I think
Either France or the Japan team. The
it was,
Japan
I think,
like one of the games. Like
I think it was
some team won
France.
7-0.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was France. I think it was France and Iran or France and Iraq or somebody. But yeah, it was like
Yeah.
5-0. And, uh, but outside of that game right there, those games were competitive, man.
Mhm. I just think it would be hard for the U.S. to get into soccer when there's just so many other sports here. When it comes to the other countries, no disrespect, but it's all about the money at that point, right? So the reason why football or soccer is so big is because it's cheap. These guys you just need a ball and that's it, really.
Yeah.
You can create your own goal, you can do whatever you want, and you can work off that. A lot of these places, these other countries, they don't have baseball, they don't have basketball, they literally only have soccer. They only have soccer institutions. So it's going to be hard for Americans to be like, hey, let's take soccer seriously, when there's just so many other sports that Americans can watch, and it's based here. So they would have to do, like you said, more marketing. But there's so many different leagues to follow and so many players to watch. It's really hard, to keep track of what's going on.
Hmm.
Yeah. I just think it would be hard, like, for soccer to ever really become like it could happen, but it won't happen for a while to be like a top 3 sport in the United States. Like, but we got basketball, football, baseball,
But it
there's
won't.
like
Yeah, it
probably
can't outbeat football in America. It won't do
yeah,
that. It can't outbeat, baseball.
no,
It won't happen. And definitely not basketball. So
yeah,
I don't know what's next for them, and what they have to do to try to promote it a little more. But if the kids see, the World Cup and they're just like, I want to make the World Cup. That's where it
Yeah.
starts. So that's where, I think they're doing a great job, with the televising the FIFA World Cup this year. Everything looks great. No, setbacks, no anything's wrong with anything. Just, some weather delays. But
yeah,
it's been great. People. I was talking to Grant about it last week too, about different countries coming to America. As the time we are in right now, it's very hard, with what's going on, to see other countries where they're at, and them coming over. And I think it's great for the people of America to realize, hey, everyone's the same. Everyone's trying to make it in this world, and we all love this game. And it's nothing, there's no hate towards anyone. We're all just here to watch a football or a soccer game. We're here just to watch a soccer game, and we're all the same rooting for teams. So I'm praying that, we can move past, the race stuff, the what's the word, the connotation
geopolitical stuff and everything.
Yeah, geopoliticals and all that stuff. It's irrelevant to me. Everyone's the same. Everyone's just trying to make it.
Absolutely, man. Great topics today. Dived into the NBA, a lot going on in the NBA. The World Cup is going to keep going. We got some good games coming up. We got Colombia tonight, so we'll see what happens with Colombia. Make sure you guys tune in every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern with Sports Talk. We come with the best sports news, sports topics, and we will be back next Friday again. Share with your friends, and peace out.
Peace.